Hey, what's up everybody? The September leaks are here, and in this video, I'm going to go over everything you need to know for the month of September. I'm going to go over all of the selection box, the pickup capsule, all of the events, and all of the Tsum that's going to be available. So let's get into it and take a look at the events first. So for the month of September, there's really two events that's really notable. So the first one is the Tsum Tsum afternoon tea, and this is our monthly event that happens every single month. And for this particular event, there's going to be a total of 8 different sets or 8 different levels or 8 different cards, however you see it, but they're going to be split up into 2 different parts. So for you to play set 1 through 4, it's going to start essentially on September 1st, and then starting from September 7th, you'll be able to play the rest of them, essentially the last 3 sets, which is part 2. And then at the end of the event, kind of similar to what we have right now, which is the flower stamp cards or sticker event, at the end of the month, there's also going to be a Tsum Tsum cute shop, which is a chocolate shop. Very similar style where you're only going to be able to play it with this month's new Tsum. So if you don't have this month's new Tsum, you won't be able to participate. So I recommend to get at least 1 new Tsum for the month. That way you could participate in the sticker events, or in this case, in the cute shop event. Alright, so those are going to be the 2 events for this month. Now, if you like to see this type of content where I review Tsums, do monthly leaks, and talk about the events that are coming up, please consider subscribing to this channel. Your subscription really helps me out a lot. Alright, so let's get into the new Tsums that are going to be available for this month. For the month of September, we're going to have a total of 5 new Tsums, and these 5 Tsums are going to be from 4 different series. So first we have the Lilo and Stitch, Chip and Dale, and Peter Pan, which will come towards the earlier of the month. They're likely going to be released in a couple of days here, probably in 24 hours to 48 hours from this video or when I post this video. And then in the middle of the month, you're going to get the Titanic series. And then usually at the end of the month, all 5 of the new Tsums are going to be available. And you could get all of these 5 new Tsums at a higher rate or lucky rates if you want to get one of them or not. So those are going to be the 3 premium boxes that we're going to have for the month of September. Now let's do a deeper dive and take a look at all of the new Tsums that's going to be available. So let's take a look at the Tsum that's in the middle first. So the first one we have Disney, Lilo, and Stitch. And this Tsum is going to be Lovely, Stitch, and Angel. The ability description is going to be Stitch and Angel with lovely heart motives. And I'm going to get into his ability a little bit later because there is 2 components. This is going to be a pair Tsum, so there is a little bit of strategy in using this pair Tsum. And for the Tsums this month, they're all going to be somewhat romantic or somewhat lovely. I feel like they should have released this in February during Valentine's Day instead, but that's kind of the theme that we're going to have for all of the new Tsums for this month. The second Tsum is going to be Lovely Clarice. And Lovely Clarice is going to have a lovely heart motive as well. The ability description is going to be clears a vertical line of Tsums and spawns either a big Chip or a big Dale Tsum. So Lovely Clarice is going to be a Tsum that's going to be really good for those big Tsum missions. So if you are struggling to make big Tsums per mission or per game, then using Lovely Clarice could help with that. And then for our final new Tsum for the first half of the game, it's going to be Lovely Tinkerbell. The description for Lovely Tinkerbell is going to be Tinkerbell with a lovely heart motive. So all of them are going to have lovely heart motives, but the ability description is special magic bubbles appears where you tap. So Lovely Tinkerbell is going to be a Tsum that's going to be good for making magical bubbles. So if you are struggling with those missions that require you to make a lot of bubbles per game, this is going to be the Tsum that you want to get. And again, I am going to have game demonstrations for all of the new Tsums for this month. So if you haven't subscribed yet, definitely stay tuned. I will have these game demonstrations live for you once they are dropped. Okay, so backing things up a little bit to take a look at Lovely, Stitch, and Angel. And again, this is going to be our pair Tsum for the month of September. They're going to have 2 different abilities. So let's cover Lovely Stitch's ability first if you plan on using them separately or if you do use them separately. So his ability description is going to be clears a horizontal line of Tsums. There's going to be 3 different type of patterns, so they're going to be a little bit different. And then for Lovely Angel, her description is going to be Tsums become easier to chain for a short time. So the idea here is you want to use Angel's ability first and then use Stitch. So you want to combo them together. By doing this, you're going to have 2 types of burst versus 1. So you should always try to use Lovely Angel first and then use Stitch's ability second. However, there is a caveat here though. The charge up for Angel is about twice as much as Stitch. So likely what you'll need to do is use Stitch's ability first or one time. And then for the second time, you want to use Angel and then Stitch. If that sounds a little complicated, don't worry. Again, I will have the full gameplay and the tutorial for using Lovely Stitch and Angel once it comes out officially for the international version. I will say though, I think that this Tsum is going to be really good for score. So for the month of September, I am likely going to be using a lot of Lovely Stitch and Angel to get them to level 50 and see how good scoring is for this pair. This Tsum is built for score, so I have a feeling Lovely Stitch and Angel is going to be good for score. So we'll have to see when it comes out. Okay, and then moving on to the middle of the month, we're going to have our Tsums from the Titanic series. First we have Jack, Dawson, and then second we have Rose, DeWitt, Bukater. So this one is a surprise. I'm surprised that there's going to be Tsums from the Titanic series. It's I don't even know how to describe it. It's kind of interesting because you don't necessarily think of Titanic as more of a Disney theme. But anyways, we have them here, so let's take a look at Jack Dawson first. So Jack Dawson is a young aspiring painter heading to a new life in America. His ability description is clear Tsums in the shape of a circle. And what's interesting here is that when you activate Jack Dawson's ability, Rose Tsums is also going to fall when you have Fever Time activated, and you can connect Jack alongside with Rose as well. So it's an added ability on top of his main ability. So it's going to be interesting to see. I believe we've seen something similar to this one, but yeah, this is going to be one of the newer Tsums with this type of ability, so we'll have to see. And next we have Rose DeWitt Bukater, a young woman who is the daughter of a high-class family. The ability description for Rose is Jack Tsums that can be connected with Rose Tsums appear. Connecting them clears surrounding Tsums. So it's one of those abilities where during the animation time, you're still going to need to connect Tsums, which is not my preference, but that's what Rose is going to be. My preference is likely going to be Jack because there's going to be those Tsums that will fall and you can connect them as well. And there's also a burst Tsum in the middle, so I prefer burst Tsums over these connecting Tsums. But if you are someone who plays really fast and can connect a lot of good Tsums, Rose is going to act a little bit like Magnificent, which is also a good Tsum. So we're going to have some decent Tsums for this month. Moving on to our first selection box, and in this selection box there's going to be some that is pretty good as well. So the first selection box is going to run probably starting September 6 or 7. Usually for the first selection box you get about 3 or 4 days. So be on the lookout for that. This is going to be the first box that we're going to get once the September events start. But the very first one, we have Charm Ariel. And Charm Ariel is going to be the best bubble maker in the game. I've done a video on this on why Charm Ariel is the best. I even did some like side-by-side comparison and competition. So I'll link that video in the description below, also in the top right hand corner. You'll be able to see the comparison between the first top two bubble maker, and Charm Ariel is a clear winner for that. And then we also have Charm Jasmine, another Charm Tsum in the selection box. So if you want a Charm Tsum, they're becoming more and more common in the selection box, but my preference is going to be Charm Ariel because Charm Ariel is good for bubbles, but Charm Ariel is also good for coins. But a lot of people want Strawberry Minnie as well. So these three that are in the I guess the advertisement is going to be a really good pick. If you can get one of them or all of them, you really want to strive for that. We also have Birthday Anna in this selection box as well. Birthday Anna is a good Tsum to earn a lot of coins, especially if you're a beginner. I remember Birthday Anna was a Tsum that was sought after because it got a lot of coins. But a lot of new Tsums have come out, and Strawberry Minnie and also Charm Jasmine are also really good for coins. So I would say like those are going to be the three that you want to go for. Other ones are like Ian, you have also Lumpy, Mrs. Incredible, Wally, Elliot, Ross, Finnick, Merlin. So you do have some good options in here, but honestly the top three, stick with those. Ian and Mrs. Incredible is also a good option. So if you need to spend some coins here, this first selection box is not a bad option. And moving on to our second selection box, and in this selection box we have Sheriff Woody, Pastel Mickey, Airplane Donald, Periwinkle, Merida, Young Elsa, Carl, Tamatoa, Joe Gardner, John Darling, Clarice, and Angel. So out of all 12 of these, I really like Periwinkle and Pastel Mickey. Sheriff Woody is also another good Tsum to use as well. Airplane Donald, a little complicated, you gotta do stuff during the animation, so not the best, but I think out of these 12, my top 3 pick is gonna be Periwinkle, Pastel Mickey, and also Sheriff Woody. But like I said before, I am going to do a deep dive on the selection box, so if you want a review of the selection box on which ones to purchase and which one to save up coins for, or which ones to skip, definitely just wait until the selection box come out, and then I'll share with you which ones to get and which ones to avoid. Moving on to the pickup capsules. Now, for these pickup capsules, as long as you have 450,000 coins saved up, you should always try to clear these pickup capsules. And what I mean by clearing them is these pickup capsules will always only have 15 Tsums in them. And if you're able to get all 15 of the Tsums, at the very end, you're going to get that last prize, which is that skill ticket. And skill tickets are very rare. Even if you have real money, you cannot buy them. So if you have 450,000 coins saved up, always get the skill tickets and save them for your best coin earner. In most cases, it's going to be one of the top 3, which is like Jedi Luke, Gaston, or Rugby Mickey. Those are my top 3 picks for coin earnings. But anyways, let's take a look at this pickup capsule. So for this pickup capsule, you have 2 copies of Leroy, 3 copies of Eve, 1 copy of Prince Charming, 3 copies of Maximus, 3 copies of Mother Gothel, 3 copies of Nala. Now, there's only 3 limited Tsums, meaning that these limited Tsums will go away if you don't get them. And that's Prince Charming, Leroy, and Eve. The other 3, Maximus, Mother Gothel, and Nala, are going to be in your premium box, so there's no rush in getting them. But if you don't have 450,000 coins saved up, I would recommend you to skip this pickup capsule and try to get the second pickup capsule and clear that instead. This first pickup capsule, the Tsums in here are not necessarily that exciting, not worth spending your coins on, so you can skip it unless you have 450,000 coins. Alright, so let's take a look at the second pickup capsule. In this pickup capsule, we have 2 copies of Top Hat Genie, 2 copies of Baymax 2.0, 2 copies of Hakuna Matata Simba, 3 copies of Fairy Godmother, 3 copies of Raja, 3 copies of Lightning McQueen. So very similar review compared to the first pickup capsule is that if you don't have 450,000 coins saved up, you should skip this pickup capsule and just save up your coins. But if you have those coins saved up, get this last prize, which is a skill ticket. All the Tsums in here, not that great. Lightning McQueen is good to use, but not worth spending to try to get Lightning McQueen if you can't clear the pickup capsule. Very similar review for Hakuna Matata Simba. They're good Tsums, but just not worth the coins. Alright guys, so that's all of the Tsums that's going to be available for the month of September. Now there are 2 additional events that will take place at the, I guess in the September, and that's the Heart Sale and Item Sale. So you'll see the dates there on the left hand side. Usually you have about 2 to 3 days right before it ends. So factor that in there if there are, like if you want to purchase hearts or if you want to purchase additional boosts. Those are good times to spend your coins on them and really save them up. And yeah, that's pretty much it for the month of September. Let me know in the comments below which Tsums you're really looking for. I'm interested to see how Rose actually works, and same for Jack. I don't think they're going to be Tsums that's worth investing in, but I am interested in seeing how the mechanics work for them. I'm honestly excited about Lovely Stitch and Angel though. That seemed like it's a really fun Tsum to use, and that's going to earn a decent amount of coins. I'm not excited about how long it's going to take to charge up Angel though, but I do think that the Lovely Tsums are going to be really fun and also really good for missions. From the selection boxes, I really like Charm Ariel, so if you need a Tsum that's going to make a lot of bubbles, that's the one you want to get. Strawberry Minnie is a really cute Tsum and good to have as well. The pickup capsule side of things, not very exciting, so I think if you are going to spend your coins in the month of September, either spend it during lucky time and get one of the new Tsums, or try to get the first selection box. And if you want to save up all of your coins and try to spend it all at the very end of the month and during the last lucky time, you may also opt to do that as well. That might not be a bad idea if you are trying to get a new Tsum. So that's my review of the September leaks. I hope that you guys found this video helpful or at least entertaining, and if you made it this far into the video, please consider subscribing to this channel and turning on the notification button. And as always, thank you so much for watching.